What's good, beautiful people? You already know what it is. This is your favorite podcast, The Kitchen Table. I'm your boy, Clay Hodges.
What's up, y'all? This is Sheridan.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy, Willie T. I'm out here.
Out here.
Yes, welcome, beautiful people.
And then Trelani, of course, is busy being a famous writer, so we're going to have to catch her next time. But guess what, y'all? This is The Kitchen Table, the show where we give you a full course meal worth of food for thought. Food for thought and food for the thoughts. And guess what? We got something special for y'all today. Appetizer-wise, y'all. What is going on?
Motherfucking Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
Fuck you, Ted Cruz.
Who is Ted Cruz? I don't know who Ted Cruz, what the hell he did. I'm actually about to Google this nigga. Who is
Ted Cruz is a senator of the great state of Texas. A Republican senator, BT Dubs, if you didn't know already.
I see.
And this motherfucker, y'all got me on my soapbox today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this motherfucker, I don't know if you've been alive, if you haven't been under a rock, that Texas is in the state of emergency. The entire state of Texas is covered in snow and a snowstorm. It doesn't fucking snow in Texas, so they're not prepared. And it's crazy. And instead of their senator, their public servant, helping them and figuring something out, this man decided that he wanted to take a vacation to our neighbors in Mexico.
Wow. So it's like Ted he abandoned his people, huh?
Yeah, Ted Cruz, on top of the fact that, as I mentioned, he's a Republican, so he was all for building that stupid ass wall. But then he decided when it got too uncomfortable in his home state that he was going to take a vacation to Mexico. And then he blamed his kids for it.
How'd he blame his kids? What'd he say about it?
He blamed his kid. He said, my daughters wanted to go to Mexico. They said, Dad, can we go to Mexico? And I said, yeah, let's go to Mexico because I was just being a good dad.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
That's his excuse.
Wow. Dang, he ain't even thought about how that was going to look. That's not a good look.
He didn't care. Well, number one, the shit got leaked.
Yeah, he left secretly.
There was a group chat with his wife and the neighbors, and someone from the group chat fucking leaked the shit to the New York Times.
Wow.
Well, they that group chat.
They felt the same way. They was like, damn, bro, that's not a good time to go on vacation. Like the whole state is in an emergency. It don't snow. These people not used to driving and living in these conditions. And, you know, we need to find solutions. We need aid for these people. But instead of that, you went on vacation. Dang, that's not good timing, bro.
Yeah.
Like
he said that he was tired of the cold and not having heat, and he wanted, bro, what the fuck do you think everyone else who doesn't have any money is doing right now? What do you think they want? You think they don't want the same thing?
Right. They don't have that option to take a vacation in Mexico.
The worst part is his house wasn't even without energy. Because
I didn't know that.
So his wife is Heidi Cruz. And she is on the board and she has controlling interest in most of a lot. I won't say most, but I'll say a lot of power companies in Texas. She has controlling interest. So through her position with Goldman Sachs. So, you know, somehow Goldman Sachs is always in the mix of the bullshit, but that's just where we are right now. And it's kind of weird because it's like y'all are redirecting power to the wealthier neighborhoods to support this instead of making sure everyone's taken care of. And in turn, people have literally died in their beds just from being cold.
Wow.
You know, like I just read this story. It's all good. I just read the story yesterday about this little boy who just experienced snow for the first time. And then later that night, he was dead, frozen to death in his bed.
Wow. That is horrible, man.
Terrible, man.
Did he issue some kind of apology or something? Or did he literally just try to justify?
No, that was his apology, blaming it on his kid.
Yeah, it wasn't even an apology.
Like, I was just trying to be a good father, you know, blah, blah, blah. He didn't
Everybody was like,
apologize.
bro, you need to resign.
But what about being a good senator, a good leader, a good public servant?
He need to fucking resign.
I feel like it's a
Trash.
little
Complete
irresponsible
trash.
to take a vacation right in the middle of, in the midst of chaos, in your state that you represent.
Let me
See,
read you
he
this.
thought he was me. I'm not.
He thought
I'm
he
not
was
the
Willie.
senator, dog.
I can't. I'm gonna read y'all a funny ass tweet that I saw. I don't even know if it's real, but supposedly, because I haven't looked it up, but on Twitter, of course, and it's supposedly Donald Trump in the past speaking about Ted Cruz.
Mhm.
And it's the funniest fucking thing. When I find it, I'll let y'all know.
Well,
Alright, for
it's
sure.
weird that Ted Cruz would do anything for Donald Trump because he straight up came at him and his wife and was like, yo, your wife is ugly.
Did he really say that?
Yes. And this man still caped for him the whole way through. Like,
Oh my God. That
Yeah,
is
Donald Trump hates
funny.
Ted Cruz. It's the funniest thing.
That is
Your-
funny. My man was
Ted
like,
Cruz
yo, your
is a
wife
beta
is,
cuck, so
your wife is ugly. That's
You know what? I
crazy.
screenshotted it. It was so funny. I got it.
You got it.
Oh, Trump. This guy, Ted Cruz, is the single biggest liar I've ever dealt with in my life. I mean it. He will lie about anything. I met much tougher people than Ted Cruz. He's like a baby. He's like a little baby, soft, weak little baby by comparison. But for lying, he's the best I've ever seen. A guy like Ted Cruz, he has no clue. He's never employed anybody. He's a nasty, nasty guy.
Damn, that sounds like some shit that this
Yeah.
nigga
That's
would
why
say
I was like,
that.
that's why I believe it. I'm like, this
He's a
sounds like some shit he
nasty,
would say.
nasty guy.
That was back when he
He's
was
a
calling
nasty
everybody
man.
nasty.
You gotta do that finger too.
And I don't even know the guy, but
Yeah.
He's a tiny, tiny man.
nasty man.
Damn, bro. Yeah,
I
they
don't even
saying
know the
they saying y'all boy Trump goddamn about to get locked up or something like that too, ain't it?
Yeah, man, them taxes coming out, man.
Lock him up. Throw away the keys.
Ain't little Trump.
He already got a murder warrant out
What?
for death in other countries.
He murdered somebody.
He organized for like other countries' generals and shit to be executed.
Oh shit, Trump.
I know.
Damn. That's
This is
I
just the
mean-
beginning of the end for Donald Trump because he's done so much shit to so many people in so many places. It's just like a matter of
Right.
time till he goes down for one of his crimes
Mhm.
against
Gonna
humanity.
catch up to you.
And his side is trying to distance themselves from him. So they're like, oh, I didn't mess with Lindsey Graham, who's the biggest caper for Trump.
He's
Mhm.
such a piece of shit. And he's
How
from
come-
our home state.
Nah,
Fucking
no.
piece of
Scumbag. Go ahead, Sheridan.
listen, Lindsey Graham. Okay, so a woman never tells her age, but 90s baby. So motherfucking Lindsey Graham has been a senator my whole fucking life. My entire life, he's been there. My whole life. Okay, I'm not even that old, but still, when I think about it, I'm like, oh, who was there before Lindsey Graham? I don't know, because he been there.
That's a white guy.
Yes, he's a white
Oh,
guy
okay.
senator from South Carolina, and he's a hardcore Republican. He said, I can't even remember the worst thing he said or done because it's just so much shit he's done over my whole life.
But what's
So
a
much.
thing he said?
Oh my God. Willie, help me out here.
It's
I don't
okay.
know.
Sometimes
Well, for starters, he was like, oh, Trump is the greatest, blah, blah, blah. And then like the next day, essentially, Trump is the worst, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, which is it? Like, this is why they call him a flip-flopper, because he's constantly just trying to sound good to get himself in a better position.
right.
So he just flops on positions as if people don't keep records of what you're saying.
Right.
And it's gone unchecked for so long that he just keeps doing it. And it's funny because I was just watching Jesus and Mero with Toby, and they had his challenger from this past election cycle on the show, and he was literally selling flip-flops with Lindsey Graham's face on them. And a quote that he said, two quotes One was one quote, and then the other quote was the exact opposite, but same quote. And it's like, wow, you're just all over the place.
Petty.
I know. And that guy was tied up. It was this black guy. He was tied up with him going into like the end of it. And somehow Lindsey Graham pulled out some extra votes out of nowhere.
Oh, he won? I thought he lost.
No, no. Listen,
it's South Carolina we're talking about.
To ever do anything radical or progressive or any of that. Okay,
that's why South Carolina is South Carolina.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, South Carolina was the very first state to succeed the Union during the Civil War. They were the first to say, "Fuck you, America. We're gonna go do our own thing." That was South Carolina. Yeah. So they've kept that same sentiment their whole existence.
Not Texas.
No, not Georgia, not Florida.
Georgia, no.
Good old South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina. Go ahead and sit down.
Lindsey Graham is the worst. Ted Cruz is the worst. All these fucking Republican senators are the worst. And it's just like, at the end of the day, these people are supposed to be public servants. That's what you signed up for. That's what you were voted in for. So what are you doing when there is a catastrophe or a natural disaster or something that, you're looking for your public servants?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where are you at? You're in Mexico vacationing.
Really, there needs to be legislation that says if you run on a certain position and then you backtrack on that position, you should be held accountable because that's voter fraud. You made all these people vote for you under the guise of fucking Biden, under the guise of, I'm gonna knock all y'all's debts off, which he later it leaked that he was like, I ain't doing that. And then,
listen, for a man that owes us $2,000, he doing a whole lot of motherfucking talking and other shit. Like,
this man was at the Super Bowl. Like, bruh, why are you at the Super Bowl right now and nothing has been accomplished? You've been here, you've been there, you've been everywhere.
So you trying to tell me that he's saying now that he ain't knocking off the student loans? Because I was looking forward to that, bro.
I was looking forward to it too.
Because I could have sworn I was seeing people talk about he was about to. I don't know. I seen a lot of articles saying, he's about to do this and he's about to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So now what they saying that he not?
He's not gonna do it, dog. But I mean, this is my issue with like everyone. Like, I know it was good, everyone turned out to vote, everyone's looking for change, but you're voting in people that have already been in government for so long that I don't know why anyone expected anything to change when this guy has been, in fact, the current president has been in office so long, he was voting yes on policies that harmed us as a nation. It's specifically black folks. So I don't understand why we only had one choice, and that was to vote for him, when Bernie Sanders has been in office just as long, if not longer, has less of a damaging record, was running for the exact same position at the exact same time, and was winning for the longest. And then all of a sudden, everything just switched and we had to vote for Biden, even though nobody gave a damn about Joe Biden in the beginning of all of this. During the Democratic primaries and all that, nobody cared. Yet here he is, the president, and here he is not doing a damn thing for nobody. So it's I don't understand. Like, why is he in there if you're not going to do nothing? When Trump got in office, he signed like 1 billion executive orders same day. You know? And Biden's been signing executive orders, but it's not for anything the people want.
Yeah, man.
He's just hooking up his niggas, just like Trump was hooking up his niggas. And everybody that gets in that position just hooks up their people. That's it. That's really it. The only way, and it's weird, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but even though I don't agree with...
Wait, before you go there, is this too much noise?
Your background?
Yes, my background.
I mean, it's noise.
It's noise, but it's not like overwhelming. When you speak, your voice drowns it out.
Okay, cool. As long as it's not overwhelming.
Yeah.
Sorry, listeners. I've got a whole fire alarm situation going on with maintenance in my building. I didn't know it was going to happen like this today.
It's all good. It's all
All
good.
good.
I'm glad you explained. I was gonna tell him you went outside to catch a play or something, but
Yeah.
I can't.
it's cool. I want to wait till you come back to hop into this entree though, man.
Yeah.
Cause I'm tired of talking about these niggas, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm tired of. I'm
I
tired
know,
of.
man. I'm exhausted.
I want to talk about something beautiful. So we want to talk about for this entree. We want to talk about Judas and the Black Messiah, Fred
Yeah.
Hampton and his legacy. That's what we want to talk about. Why? Because he's an important figure, and they ain't teach us about him in school. You know how I found out about Fred Hampton? I found out about him from my pops. You know, my pops, he put me up on game about, you know, the Black Panthers and, you know, a lot of the great black leaders back in the day that, you know, most people don't talk about. You know, my pops, he was raised in the Bay Area, so he was there. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? He
word.
was there.
Wow.
He
That's
was
what's up.
there. Him and my uncle, they used to eat from the free breakfast program. My uncle Ricky tell me stories about how he used to eat from the free breakfast program. So like,
Wow. That's
just
amazing
there.
because I just know my mom's Southern perspective. I haven't heard, a perspective
Yeah,
from someone from over here.
right. So they
Mm-hmm.
they really was doing what they say they was doing. They was empowering the black community. And you know, my pops was like, "Oh man, you got to check out Cleaver. You got to check out, you know, Bobby Seale." And I started reading books on these people. Then he said, "Oh, Fred Hampton was another good one too." So I was like, "Fred Hampton." So I looked it up, and I was like, "Dang boy, this man was young. Oh, this man was for real. This man was legit."
Yeah.
Then I seen how they assassinated him. I was like, damn. And then
Yeah,
I
man.
read, you know, how the FBI was like, you know, they specifically said the Black Panthers is the greatest threat to America. And then it's like he lives like, I want you to infiltrate them and seek out any Messiah like figures, which is
Yeah.
so crazy that he said that. It's almost as if they knew that that energy was coming. It's like they knew that energy was coming and they tried to suppress it and destroy it as soon as they could. And it
Mhm.
just
Mm-hmm.
happened that, you know, that energy was manifested in a lot of people. With Fred Hampton definitely had that Messiah Christ-like energy.
Mm-hmm.
His whole purpose and mission, his way of being was for the people. He wanted to empower people. And you know, not just black people, it was black people first, but he wanted to liberate all people, poor people, people who are oppressed by this system, people who are oppressed by this establishment. He unified people from different backgrounds, races, and religions and belief system, and directed their attention at the true cause of our suffering. You know what I'm saying? And that was dangerous. It was dangerous because he wasn't just getting in our hearts, he was getting in their hearts too. You know what I'm saying? Giving them perspective on what's really going on. Like, hey, I'm not your enemy. They are. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that these folks want us fighting each other while they doing what the fuck they doing behind the closed doors. But when we put their
Mm-hmm.
attention on them, everybody put their attention on them. Oh, that's a problem. But
You
Fred
know what's
Hampton
so
was that guy.
interesting? I was telling EJ after we watched it, I was like, Fred Hampton, like Bernie Sanders reminds me of a Fred Hampton. But they didn't kill Bernie Sanders because he's white. They just
Right.
keep shutting him down, shutting him out of politics.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like if you're black and you're speaking the same shit that a Bernie Sanders or they kill you. That's it. They kill you. To be
Because
black and to be radical, to be radicalized and to be black, it's like a death wish.
the message,
Absolutely.
it's because the message is listened to a little stronger from somebody young and vibrant and energetic like Fred Hampton, because he's the future, and people, young people are going to listen to that, and old people are going to still listen to that, because the youth are the future and everyone wants to see a strong black man encouraging people. But the most dangerous part about him was the fact that, yeah, he was part of the Panthers, yeah, they were taking care of the black community, but he was taking care of every community.
Everybody,
Even like
everybody.
The
everybody.
Rainbow Coalition.
Exactly.
Which is the same thing Bernie Sanders always says. I'm trying to form a rainbow coalition. But what'd you say, Willie? Bernie Sanders was winning. Then all of a sudden, they were like, nope, Biden is the man.
I mean, they didn't even let the guy come to the last election cycle. They didn't let the guy come to the Democratic convention when Hillary Clinton was running, because Hillary Clinton was best friends with Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who was the DNC chair at that time.
Mhm.
So he got shut out then. And then this time around, they're like, all right, you can run on a Democratic platform. But he again gets shut out. And this time it's a little more like blatant, because he was leading the polls, and then all of a sudden he wasn't in the polls at all. So it's like,
but I bet you this, if Bernie Sanders had been radicalized, I had been like, no, fuck you, I'm not doing that, I'm gonna run, I'm for the people. Same thing Fred Hampton did, they would have killed him. The reason that Bernie Sanders, well, I don't know for a fact, but just in my opinion, the reason they haven't murked that man is because he keeps falling back and saying,
he's
all
complicit.
Right, I'll do it the way you want me to do it.
He's fully complicit, you know. And not complicit in a way like you're the same as them, but he's complicit in, oh, okay, you told me no, okay, I'm gonna go sit down.
Yeah, but it's like you said, he's so older now. If he was when he was Fred Hampton's age, y'all seen the pictures of Bernie Sanders getting arrested and posed with the black people, you know, like he was way more radical. So it's like, yeah, Fred Hampton, he was just such a force to be reckoned with because he was young and he was radical and he was black and he didn't
intelligent.
Oh God,
had the gift of gab, orator.
Yeah.
I think that movie was so special to me because I didn't know who Fred Hampton was. You know, once again, back to our shitty ass education system, I had no idea who he was. I knew, of course, about the Black Panthers and Malcolm X, but I didn't know about him.
Right.
Specifically.
That's on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That's on purpose, because they preach MLK. Everything's named after MLK. And yes, he was great, but he ran on a peaceful platform. He wasn't busting skulls like Malcolm X was, and he wasn't, you know, at very radical in his stance like a Fred Hampton was, because those guys were accomplishing things. And like, the powers that be want you to focus on MLK and how he was so peaceful and never did anything in retaliation, because that plays up to their position. You know, you have to match fire with fire. You can't come with ice water and splash a cup on this fire. Like, that ain't gonna work.
Fred Hampton say you fight fire with water, man. They say that's why he was so cool. I was watching the documentary yesterday. There was somebody who no one was talking about him. It was like he's so cool. He's like, you know, he said fight fire with water.
But I mean, he was right, you know. Technically, you're right.
Yeah, but we get what you said. I know what
in the end, but you can't be too nice. You know, you can't be nice to your oppressor, because they're not gonna be nice to you.
No. Listen, my favorite part was how them niggas had guns. They just had fucking guns on guns. I'm with it. I'm like, I just love when I see black people getting armed. So I'm like, they're armed. They wrote this stupid ass shit in the amendment. They're gonna kill us. So I love it when I see black people like using their whatever.
But if we can pivot to the story just for a little bit off of Fred Hampton for a moment, the informant, what do y'all think about him? Because he was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I've been so much
to say.
So when I watch movies that I really enjoy, I go watch the interviews of the actors, the directors, and the producers and stuff like that. So I did that with that, and my man Daniel, I always pronounce
Daniel Kaluuya.
Daniel Kaluuya. We was on the Breakfast Club. He articulated it really well about William. So him as a person, he was.
Wait, are you talking about Fred Hampton or the other guy that Lakeith played?
The guy Lakeith played.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said Daniel Kaluuya, so I was just like.
Yeah. He was talking about that in the interview.
Lakeith was talking about Daniel Kaluuya in the interview.
No, Daniel Kaluuya was talking about Lakeith.
Oh, okay. I got it.
He was talking about Lakeith.
Okay.
So the historical person, he was just pretty much saying that that's a person who had individualistic, capitalistic ideology. It was all about self-preservation. Him trying to make sure he's straight above any and everything else, and might not have cared as much about the movement as people who were genuinely in the movement. And because of that, he was used and manipulated to do horrendous things that help damper and slow down the movement,
So
and
long story short, he was trying to cover his ass and did horrible things to his own people so he didn't go to jail for the crime that he committed.
right, exactly. So that's exactly what happened. So they was humanizing him, I guess. And I like to try to keep that perspective too, because like
To me, he's Takashi though.
yeah,
Because
he
I mean,
is.
it's the same thing with Takashi. He got in trouble. He's trying to cover his own butt. He ratted on people,
Mm-hmm.
and it to me it's the same thing. Like you try to cover your own butt, and you're to me really the William dude is a little worse because you're going against this power that's going to help not only
Right.
you but everybody in your family, every black person you've ever met on the street, everybody. And you're sabotaging that, and it's even worse because you're there on a daily basis
Absolutely.
watching the struggle
Even
firsthand.
got a promotion.
Yeah, like
It's
you're
crazy. So that interview that he had when it debuted, this man killed himself the
Killed
same
himself.
day it aired. And it's because like I can only imagine like that shit was torturing his ass every day
Well,
because
that's
I
why.
can't I
No,
just
no, I'm
excuse
sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
you good. Let me just say it real quick. I can't help but believe that in some capacity he had to feel extremely fucked up because he's here like you say, well, he's here every day. He sees the power in this. He has to see the truth of this, but at the same time, he doing all this other shit selfishly for himself. And it's like that shit gotta fuck with you to a point where he just couldn't live with it, man. He just
yeah.
couldn't live with that shit.
And he gaslighted everyone around him for the longest
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
that's
well.
why he killed himself. He couldn't handle. I mean, and that's why Lakeith did such a phenomenal job in this movie
He
because
did.
the range, all the emotions that you're feeling doing this. Because it's like you said,
Absolutely.
he already had like this whole capitalism, self-preservation character flaw about him, just as one of his human flaws. But obviously, he could see the value in the Panther, so it's like this
This
constant
pull. Right.
internal struggle that he was going through, which is
Mm-hmm.
exactly why he killed himself the day that shit aired. That man was
Mm-hmm.
probably guilty for all those years, all that guilt.
Right.
And he
On
Absolutely.
first
top
did
of
Takashi
being
6ix9ine because every day he chose to go in there and do this. At
that's
one
true.
at one point, at no point did he think, "Let me go to Fred Hampton as my brother and tell him what's going on and tell him I'm lost. I did this shit to save my ass from the police, but now I'm in this shit and I don't know how to get out." I'm sure the Panthers, they might have been angry at first, but
They might have helped him.
they might have helped him. Somebody would have helped him.
Mm-hmm.
But he
Yeah.
kept doing it. He kept doing it. That's why I don't know. Like, I think it's great they made him human, but at the same time, I'm like, something's got to give. Like, I know we've all done fucked up things, but then you choose whether you're going to keep doing that fucked up thing or whether you're
Right.
going to stop and try to
Right.
get help.
Absolutely.
Another unpopular opinion, I think that might have just been karma, because karma affects you whether you wanted to or not. And the karma for him was you got out of this situation, but now you're living in witness protection. You are always looking over your shoulder every day,
And
and
you
your
living
mental
with that
health is
guilt.
declining
Mm-hmm.
rapidly. So it's like, even no one got you, but you
You
did it
got
to
you.
yourself.
You got
You
you.
You
got you.
got you in the
And
end.
Lakeith did a wonderful job because Daniel was saying that Lakeith made the biggest sacrifice out of anybody in that movie because he had to bring that character to life, and he didn't agree with him ideology. He didn't agree with his ideas. He didn't agree with the way that his character was. So he had to get himself in that space to deliver in the way he did as an actor and as an artist. I can imagine how tough it is to deliver so strongly something that you don't agree with.
Well, didn't that Joker role kill? Who was it that it killed? The Joker role killed
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger. That was like what ended it for him. It broke his brain literally. And
yeah.
Dang. Let me ask y'all though. Let me ask y'all both. So what did y'all think about the movie? You know, in totality.
I was cool with the movie.
You gonna say it, Willie?
Another unpopular opinion.
We talked about this before. We're like on the same brainwave.
Yo. Okay, so I got into a huge argument with my girl over this. I'm tired of British actors taking historically Black American roles. Why? Cynthia Evero and Harriet. This guy Daniel, and I freaking love Daniel Kaluuya. I've been watching him since he was on Skins, UK Skins, like way back when he was a teenager. And this is not the role for you, dog. Simply because you cannot execute the way that you need to execute. And the people behind the film, he courted them. That's how he got the role.
Fuck okayed this? Who gave the green light for him?
I was watching a bunch of interviews about it. Right. So they came to him about the role when he was doing his press run for Get Out. Ryan Coogler and them came to him and said, "Hey, we want to make a movie about."
Why didn't he say no? Why didn't he turn the role down?
Because he resonated with it. Because for him, you just think about this. Think about this. At the end of the day, he is still part of the diaspora. His mom is African. You know what I'm saying? He resonates deeply with Africans struggling the construct of this Western society. Because if you really think about it, though we're in a different country, he essentially living in the same fucking system. And I remember in one interview, he was talking about police brutality, and he was dropping names of people out there in where is he from? Fucking Britain, whatever, excuse me for my ignorance, but wherever he from, he was dropping names about people who were killed by the police and just talking about how it's damn near the same shit. And for him, the role resonated because he, you know, even before the movie, he did research on his own about the Black Panthers and about Fred Hampton. And he was deeply moved by it. So I don't have a problem long as you got respect. You got respect, and it's coming from a genuine place, wanting to tell a story about somebody. Like if he was just like, all right, fuck whatever, I do it, but he deeply cared. You know, he went to go meet the family and talk to them and got their approval and okay. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he deeply cared about the role. He deeply cared about the story and wanted to tell it in the most authentic and genuine way. And I get the point that y'all making because it's a lot of people here who should have the opportunity. But it's like if somebody from the outside could really respect it so much, that they really, and it shows in his execution of the character, how much that he put into it. You know,
the execution.
Let's discuss me have my soapbox real quick.
All right, go ahead.
First of all, Daniel Kaluuya, I love him. I love him in the things that I've seen him in. Okay, I respect him, all of that. I got no beef with him. But this is my problem. I'm going to give you an example real quick. If there is a story about a marginalized character, specifically a gay Black man, I don't think it's fair that a straight Black man comes in and plays this role of a gay Black man. Because there are plenty of gay Black actors who have lived this experience for real. And because they're marginalized, they don't get a chance to get a role like this. So why would a straight Black man come in and take this role, even if it was offered to him, even if he did connect with the character? In my opinion, this is just my opinion. I think that there are plenty of movies, there are going to be plenty of roles. And I don't think that it's fair that these African Black actors, yes, they are part of the diaspora, but the American Black experience is so specific and so special and such. And
very nuanced.
Very nuanced. And even if you do relate with the character on a level and you did your research and you did this, that, and the other, the fact that Daniel Kaluuya's accent was so bad, supposed to be representing Fred Hampton, and I'm a Southern woman, and I couldn't understand. I was like, where, I didn't know anything about Fred Hampton. I'm like, where's Fred Hampton from? And then he mentioned Emmett Till, and I was like, Mississippi? Wait, Daniel Kaluuya is impersonating a Southern Black man? No, it rubbed me.
He's from Chicago is the worst part. Emmett Till got killed in Mississippi.
I was just confused either way. I was trying to put the geography together based off what they were saying.
Well,
I was
that's the
that's
issue.
what blew me. I was like, you can't even portray this accent properly. Why are you doing this role?
Right.
Why are you doing this role? And
vernacular.
It's just like I don't know. And it keeps happening, Clay. It keeps happening over and over and over again to almost make me feel like, as an American artist, like, damn, you're still not. We still don't respect you to the point that we'll go get somebody black, but they're not going to be American. They're going to be African.
Yeah.
And then we'll fill our quota. But you still don't have a seat at the table.
Because they don't want. You can empower people through someone playing a role, you know, and if that. And to keep the diasporas at war,
exactly,
they're always gonna cast in a non. Put it this way: Fred Hampton was speaking what nowadays they call AAVE, African American Vernacular English, Ebonics, if you want to throw it back. And
okay, so that's what it was. So he was from Chicago. He wasn't from the South. He was from Chicago.
Yes,
but he had a very specific.
He just sounded like, you know, like back in the day, you know, black folks, you know, drive turkey, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's just how they sounded.
Yeah.
But that's not something that he can execute because it's nuanced. You have to grow up hearing that. You have to understand what it sounds like. And if you're battling your own, you're already at a disadvantage because you're suppressing your natural accent to then try and fit into the mold of this American accent, and it's just coming off kind of garbled.
It almost feels
if I have to watch a movie with subtitles, I don't think that execution is good enough. The movie overall, great, because the movie is about the story, which is real,
and it was great.
If we're talking execution, that's my only qualm with the whole thing.
That is, it's
y'all
like,
ever listen to
when
Fred Hampton talk?
Yes, I did. In the interview after,
y'all don't think he did a good job?
No, I think he did a good job. Daniel Kaluuya was absolutely horrible in his accent, and I'm sorry, but it's like this when they what's her name? Nina Simone. When they had what was that black actor? I forget her name. When they had her put on blackface to play Nina Simone instead of just getting a dark skinned black actor to play Nina Simone. What was her name? She did Avatar. She did Colombiana.
I know you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. But we talk about Zoe Saldana.
Zoe Saldana, yes.
Yeah.
They offered her that role and she could have turned it down. She may have connected with Nina Simone. She may have done the research. She may have loved her, but it's not right because there's so many dark-skinned black actresses who could have played Nina Simone.
Right. That's like casting Halle Berry in the Fantasia movie or some shit. Like, what?
Exactly. It just.
But you know, we got a fan question. So fan question is, how do we feel about African Americans playing the roles of Africans, like, you know, Mandela?
I thought about that when y'all was making y'all
Morgan
points.
Freeman was Mandela, or Will Smith, you know, playing whoever, you know.
The dude
Honestly,
in
no,
Concussion.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the dude in Concussion.
Think, just like Daniel Kaluuya, there are plenty African actors who need a spotlight. So no, I don't think. Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think it's fair to them because we would never understand the nuances of their culture. Well, our culture, that specific culture.
We understand culture on the surface when you aren't immersed in it and living in it.
And that's true.
But we don't understand from my people went through this perspective, you know? Like, yeah, we're all people. We're all the same people. Yes. However, you cannot just step over the fact that, we need to make this movie marketable, so let's just throw Will Smith in it. And
yeah, it's like erasure. It's like erasure of, and it almost reminds me of cultural appropriation, even though it's not the same thing, but it's in the same ballpark. Like, I don't know. I just don't like it. I just feel like I just don't like it at all.
Man, no, I feel you. The way I feel, I truly feel like we are one people. I really do believe that. And I feel like, you know, like Willie was saying, like it's like a war that they're creating for the people of diaspora, like to still keep us divided. And I just feel like at the end of the day, if you can identify with the black struggle throughout the world, because throughout the world, man, we suffering. If you can identify with that, And if you really understand the power of being black, like I ain't got no problem with you using doing a certain role, because I'm a big fan of black movies. Like Netflix be identifying my ass. You know how they always try to make like my shit got a shit
They
ton of black fucking
you.
movies. And I just love seeing people that look like me playing powerful roles. And
Yeah.
that's just how I took it. You know what I'm saying? And
Let me ask you this, Clay. I got a question for you.
uh-huh.
Okay, so how do you feel about like, okay, so on Twitter how a lot of, well, Twitter is how I found out that a lot of the Africans diaspora, they like talk shit about American blacks, like on Twitter. Like they say we have no culture, like they make fun of us, like it's like a whole thing. And like it's like, damn, how are y'all? That's how Cynthia Evros got in trouble, because she was on Twitter talking shit.
Talking
Yeah.
reckless.
I just feel
Talking
like it's,
reckless.
for me, it's like a war that they trying to create that I don't want to feed into. I feel like the overall message from God for people of color in general was to unify us, And the reason why I say that, because you think about like how, culturalistic we are, and where, when we were in Africa, and it's like all these different people from these different tribes, from these different places get brought to this one place. And I feel like the overall lesson is to learn to be unified as one, to be unified as one. And I feel like that's an idea and that's a barrier that we're still learning to cross. The idea and the fact that we're all one, regardless of where we come from. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my theory on it. That's just my little spiritual theory, philosophical theory of it, is that we're still learning how to be one. And that's why it's these wars and black Americans ain't got no culture and they don't accept us over there. But it's like, bro, we look the same, bro. At the end of the day, we damn near got the same. We got some of the same struggles and shit.
But you know what? If I can just hop into my conspiratorial bag.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Every movie that comes out that's released to the mainstream public, did you know it has it? No. Do you know every movie that is released has to be approved by the CIA?
Oh
Wait,
yeah.
what?
Every movie that's
Bro,
released has
you
to be
know why?
approved by the CIA.
Wait, how do they have time to approve?
There's an
every
official
movie?
list that you can download of every movie that's been approved by the CIA.
You know why?
And it's some movies like, oh, really, Mrs. Doubtfire? Why was this? But there's like little things like that. Like there's reasons behind it. And the same people that conspired against Fred Hampton are the same people approving these movies to be released. So it's like you're being fed crumbs of the truth.
Absolutely. I remember this guy used to listen to on YouTube said that movies are the modern day hieroglyphs. And it's like the full disclosure thing is real. They have to tell us the truth. So they try to mask it and give us the little crumbs in these movies and these television shows. And just like you said, they have to approve it. Why? Is because first of all, they want to shape the way we think and feel about stuff. So they have to put that out. They have to put movies out like that. But at the same time, they have to tell us the truth at the same time to give us a fair fighting chance.
Exactly.
So they have to put that out too. And they do that.
What'd you say? It was is the modern day what?
Hieroglyphs.
Wow. That's deep. It is though, because it's like what they give you on the surface. I'm a big read between the lines kind of person. Like I'm always looking like, oh, you said this, but from my knowledge and understanding, this is double entendre. So
Absolutely.
it's like triple entendre. Don't even ask me how.
Right.
It's
Right.
literally happening every day in front of your face. Like we were talking about the children's shows that had all those adult jokes in them, and we went right over our head.
Fucked up.
Like, exactly.
All that shit.
It's that's just a right there directing your face example, but it goes so much deeper. And entertainment is curated. It's released with purpose. It's not just people don't just make movies for the sake of making movies. The people may, but the powers that be don't back movies for no reason.
Right. Absolutely, man.
I mean, if you look, I told y'all about how I was a CIA agent tried to recruit me, right?
No, you didn't.
Hell no, you didn't.
What?
Willie, come on, man. Put us
No,
on game.
Willie.
Put us on game, bro. What's going
Man.
You could be in the
Alright.
CIA though. Like you're tall as fuck, so you're kind of threatening. So like if you just showed up, if you just like followed me around, like I saw you in locations, I'd be like, I would freak the fuck out. I'd be like, this is definitely the CIA. Like
Hiding behind shit. Like,
yes.
I'd be a terrible spy. I stand out way too much.
on? Right.
That'd be like, it's like Shaq trying to be a cop. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
But nah, so long story short, excuse me. Smoker's cough, not a COVID cough.
Oh, y'all too is funny.
So I sold this car on TaskRabbit back when that was popping. I sold this car for this guy to this woman in Calabasas, and she came with this old white guy who gave me his car. He was a retired CIA agent, like up there, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you're in entertainment. Like, you should really look into joining the CIA because we're always looking for people in entertainment, and we need more people in entertainment right now. Like, the only thing you need is a college degree. That's all you need.
That's all you need to be in the CIA.
That's all you need is a college degree.
Are you sure this man wasn't bullshit?
Hey man,
No.
associates or the bachelor.
Bachelor's. You need a bachelor's degree, and you can never have taken psychedelics, which it eliminates me. But yeah.
Oh, me too. Damn.
Yeah, but he was just like, yeah, like a lot of the people that you know and see in Hollywood on a regular basis, they're CIA agents, and they're just doing their job under the guise of being a famous celebrity.
That's crazy.
Toby shouted out Tim Allen in the background. Y'all know Tim Allen, right? Buzz Lightyear.
I love Tim Allen.
Yeah.
So Tim Allen got caught in the 70s with kilos of coke.
Oh shit.
What?
On a plane. Kilos, and he never got in trouble at all. In fact, he just went on to become a famous actor.
Wow. That's
It's
crazy. So my man told you that out his mouth.
Out his mouth, out the mouth of babes. He told me, yo, you can join, you can be in the entertainment division. You just need a degree, no psychedelics. I was like, I don't know. How do they know
if you've done psychedelics or not, though?
Well, that probably lie detector test.
But why does that matter?
What if you're a really good liar?
Well, I think it's a controlling thing. Like, once you've seen outside of the box, you can't be mentally manipulated like that.
Oh, I see what you mean. Because after you've done a psychedelic, it like expands your brain.
Exactly. And they were the ones that were testing LSD on their people and stuff like that back in the day. So that's why he says all that. That's why all that correlates. But it's funny because like I think it was Zoolander 2 or something like that. One of these movies where they were like, oh yeah, they killed Justin Bieber because he was a CIA agent. And Justin Bieber played himself in the movie and he was a CIA agent. And then Anna Faris, they went to her place and he was like, oh my God, Anna Faris. And then she was like a CIA agent. She was trying to kill him and stuff. She was doing coke. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. And I'm like, are they really like
this is so crazy? It could be real. Like,
yeah, that's Holly weird is weird. Okay.
But listen, so I'm not gonna say much about it, but I worked for some people when I first moved to LA, and the people that I worked for, they were trying. The lady, it was like a couple. The lady was trying to tell me about all this conspiracy shit, and I had never heard any of it before I moved to LA. But she was telling me, like, so this is one of her theories, okay? She says that she hates Obama now. Now, she's not a Trumper, but she says she hates Obama because she loved Obama. She was on his campaign. She was, like, pushing the agenda. She was all for it. And then he got in office and didn't do shit. And then she found out he, like, got recruited by the CIA and, like, all this shit. And I had never heard any of that before. I'm not saying I believe it. But I'm saying, Obama got once again, for people in the CIA, like,
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. And it's funny because I read this article. It was like, it showed all these New York Times articles like, oh, the deep state is crazy. That's not real. You're insane. That's just conspiracy. And then they just dropped a new article the other day, and it was like, oh, the deep state is real, but they're not bad. They're just good guys, public servants. Like, no, that's no.
Who is the New York Times owned by?
I think it's probably owned by like Rupert Murdoch or somebody like that, just magnates. I know one.
I'm just trying to figure out who is pushing their agenda. It's almost like the New York Times is there to say, I'm the New York Times. Like,
just follow the money,
There you go.
Like, who owns this? And then you say, who owns this? And then you say, who owns this? And then eventually you get to one person.
Right.
Yeah.
One person.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's this guy named Sumner Redstone. He just died like last year, I think. But he owned, what was it, National Amusements? He owned this company called National Amusements, and National Amusements, it's like, what is that? I've never heard of it in my life. National Amusements owns Viacom, who owns every fucking channel on TV, like MTV, VH1, Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, all of that.
Yeah.
And
kind of ABC company owns Google.
Is owned by one person. So I mean, but they say like every division, like you hear about like, oh, this new network came up, this new content creator came up, they just got purchased by blah blah blah. It's because the same three companies own everything, and it works that way in food, water, entertainment, everything.
It's what's that show, Mr. Robot, talking about the conglomerates and shit. Did y'all watch that show?
Never watched it. I heard good things about it.
Nah, I never heard of it.
It was really good. I didn't finish it. So the guy who it's this movie that just came out that had Denzel in it. It came out on HBO. Fuck, I just watched it.
I'm about to check it out then.
But the same guy is in Mr. Robot. Same white guy.
You're talking about Rami Malek.
Yes, him.
He played Queen in the shitty version of the Queen movie. I wanted Sacha Baron Cohen, but it didn't happen. But anyways, go ahead.
Well, yes, I was just referencing what he was in. But Mr. Robot, I really want to rewatch it. You guys should watch it. But it's good. It talks about like these conglomerates and like conspiracies and like all this shit.
Yeah.
It's good.
I will watch Mr. Robot. Hey man, y'all good on this entree, man? Y'all got something else I want to say?
I mean, I'm good to talk,
Yeah, I did want to ask y'all one question though before I wrap out the entree.
Okay.
I wanted to ask y'all, where do you think Chicago would be? Where do you think the United States would be if Fred Hampton was never assassinated and he was continue to live out his life and continue his mission?
Oh my God. So many things. Chicago wouldn't be getting shot up. There wouldn't be fucking guns in the streets in Chicago. The gang violence would not be like it is. Maybe Obama wouldn't be in the CIA.
You're super right about the guns, because the guns that are in Chicago now, like if you go to Google Maps and type gun store Chicago, there are none. So how are niggas getting bazookas and M16s and ARs and stuff? Because they're being dropped off in crates. I watched a video years ago about this guy in Chicago. It was like 4 or 5 in the morning, and it's like real bright, like early, like real early behind him. And he's like, yo, I just saw the craziest thing. Like this black SUV came, these dudes hopped out, dropped off a big old crate, and he left in the middle of the hood in Chicago. And then he looked in the crate, and it's a whole bunch of automatic weapons.
Fucking guns. They want black people to kill each other.
Destroy yourselves.
Yeah, exactly. they want us to destroy ourselves.
Exactly.
And what people don't understand is like they talk about the violence and the black communities and the violence in Chicago. Like, no, violence doesn't happen without poverty. Like, black people aren't just inherently fucking violent.
Right. That's
No.
true.
And that's evidenced by the fact that we're the ones being oppressed because we're bigger, stronger, faster, smarter in a lot of ways. We could have been taken over if we had that mentality of our oppressors, but we don't. We're a peaceful people, you know, we're just trying to
Right.
chill, have a good time.
Just smoke, live.
Exactly.
So yeah, like if Fred Hampton was here, he would have continued those programs with the Black Panther and like fucking built up the Black economy. So Black people in Chicago had shit, you know, and jobs, and it'd be a very different.
You know,
He probably would have ran for president too.
Clay told the story earlier of his dad benefiting from the Black Panther programs and everything. And it's funny he said that because yesterday I was listening to Shade 45. Sway has his own show on Shade 45, and he was interviewing the entire cast, including the director of
Shaka King.
He was interviewing Shaka in the cast of this movie, and Sway literally said the exact same thing you said. Like, I grew up in the Bay Area and I was too young to be like Black Panthers, but I was living daily off of Black Panther programs and getting meals and getting after school education programs and stuff like that. So it's like, imagine if that had went uninterrupted from the 70s and 60s.
Yeah, all the way up to here.
No
and the
hungry
gangs.
children.
Remember, he was like joining up with the gang leader. The gang leader at first was like, I'm not fucking with you, fuck you. But Fred Hampton, because of who he was able to just keep pushing until he finally got that meeting. Exactly. And even when they burned down the Black Panther house, the gangs came to help them rebuild.
You know why? Because they realized, oh, we all have the same common enemy.
Exactly.
The same people messing with y'all are messing with us too. So we might as well stop being retarded, excuse my language, and come through and help each other and build each other up. And it's the message is the most dangerous thing. And that's why the people in power wanted him eliminated, because the message began to permeate. It's one thing if people are out there saying, oh, let's do this, let's do that. If people aren't listening, it doesn't matter. So they're not a threat. But once they see people mobilizing and coming together.
Yeah, because the white people came together.
Stop that.
The poor white people came together with Fred Hampton.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Like Chicago probably could have mobilized the entire fucking country.
Yeah, Chicago would have been New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, and racism wouldn't be what it is today. You know?
Yeah. Well, we can
dream. Be more, right. We can dream. But it's slowly getting to that point. And I just wanted to ask y'all that. But now that was beautiful. That was a beautiful entree, man. We're going to move on to this dessert, man. Y'all tell me something sweet.
Man, something sweet. You know what? I just bought a new couch, dog.
Straight up.
Hey.
I bought a new couch. It's getting delivered on the 2nd because, you know, I've been living with my homie, but he's about to go do some other stuff. So I'm going to be living alone. So I'm going to, you know, remodel a little bit.
There we go.
Feng shui, as they would say.
Yeah.
Get right. Straight up.
You know, get the vibe right, because we're all doing some pretty major things right now, and the space has to reflect where we're trying to be and what we're trying to do. So that's once that's in line, I feel like my chakras will be all in line again, and I can just floor it, you know.
Yeah, your space is most important. Like, you need your space to be comfortable for you.
Yeah, man.
Right.
And that's how you be productive.
And it's funny because I've always liked it, but I never respected it like I do now that I'm in my 30s now, you know, my early. So it's like, I gotta really do it big now.
Gotta do it big, bro.
That's right.
Gotta do it big. Well, what's going on, Sheridan? Tell me something sweet.
Sweet. Well, I'm off work today and tomorrow. I'm gonna be trying to get some things done. My health insurance kicks in what's today? The 22nd. Let me see. Oh, exactly a week.
Yeah.
So gonna be getting my health straight.
There we go. There we go.
all that together.
You still got a link about them black doctors too.
Yes, we do. Yes. Actually, that's what I'm doing today. One of the things I'm doing today, I'm making a list and then I'll just send it to you.
All right. Well, shoot, we both off, so holler at me.
Yes,
Straight
I
up.
got you.
So I was really clearing my throat, y'all. Not corona, just early morning.
Yep.
But god dang on my sweetness is so, I just started a publishing company, to support the music that's going to be used for the Phat Vegan show and the music that's going to be used on our, social media and YouTube stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I've been,
Nice.
signing it up.
Yes.
Yes, you know what I'm
Man,
saying?
you didn't mess around and started a label, man.
Oh, eventually it's part of the process, It's part of the
Oh,
process,
shoot.
We're gonna start with Phat Vegan, in the pub company right now, you know what I'm saying? For the sync
Hey.
licensing,
Don't
so
stop, get guap.
you feel me? Cause Ken, shout out to Ken. We know
Yep. Shout out Ken.
Ken's part of
Shout out
our
to
sound team.
Ken,
Yes, he's part of our sound
the
team.
homie.
And Ken, me and him connected trying to do sync licensing together. And we got together, we made some music, and we just been sending stuff. But it's like, in order to land on a commercial or a movie, you got to go through a middleman and they got to approve it. Then they send it. But it's like, at this point, we're the plug. There's no middleman. We are the plug. We are where people will want to get their music at. So that's a beautiful thing. That's sweet,
Yeah. That's real sweet. That's
Dope.
that sweetness.
There we go.
Send us off, Clay.
You know what I'm saying? And guess what? And to finish us off, man, to go box. To go box, y'all. Y'all want to say something? Y'all want to put something in this box?
A to-go box. So I started listening to this podcast about finances, and I have been working on my finances since forever, but really last year is when I really started pushing for my goals. And I challenge you guys to, when you're doing your budget, to try doing a budget every week. So instead of doing a budget every 2 weeks or once a month, do one every week and see how your budgeting goes.
All right, that's good. I'm gonna do that myself.
Yeah, budget 101.
Budget, guys. We gonna get straight
up.
Yeah.
Willie, what you got to put in the box, man?
To stay in the line of finances, I would just encourage you all, if you have the opportunity, to invest in some cryptocurrency, because my portfolio is turning over right now.
Okay. What you investing in, bro?
So I got some Bitcoin, and I got some Litecoin. Which is like a secondary baby spinoff of Bitcoin. So they work in unison. So when Bitcoin goes up, Litecoin also goes up. So I got a bunch of that because it's cheaper than Bitcoin. But a month ago,
put us on, Willie, because I haven't done any crypto because I don't understand it. That's the reason. It's
just like stocks, but it's decentralized currency, and you can actually use it to buy things, if you get into that space. But for me, it's I use it more of on the investing side of it, because it appreciates. It rarely dips down below where you started. So that's the thing. Like I have a bunch of Dogecoin, which is it was a joke currency, but it's a crypto, and it is exploding, and everyone's trying to buy into it, which is making it explode more.
Right. I got me some of that.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Willie.
Yeah. I'm about to hop on this Litecoin. I ain't gonna lie, just pull this thing up.
But like in a month, a little less, I've gone from a portfolio value of $500, which was my initial input, minus the Dogecoin, $500, and I've already gone up to $750.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, because when I first looked a month or so ago at Bitcoin's value, it was at 34,000. It was in a dip.
Mm-hmm.
And now, as of yesterday, when I looked, it's at 55,000 for one
Right.
Bitcoin.
Right.
So that's 20 racks in the span of a month that it's gone up. And it's crazy because I always kick myself, and this is why I'm getting so involved in it heavily now, because in 2014, I had an opportunity to get into Bitcoin when it was worth nothing.
Nigga.
When it was worth nothing.
Middle school, I started to put $5 in. All I had to do is put my card information in, and I didn't do it because I was being lazy.
Oh man, I know, bro. $5 and you could have been sitting on $100,000 easy. Now there's people out there that bought Bitcoin when it was worth, because it's a finite currency, so there's a cap on how much, and when people liquidate, it releases back into the market, and that's what you can purchase. And
Willie,
at one point, at one point it was literally worth like $10.
Right.
And that was like, ooh. But for $100, you can have 10 Bitcoin. For 10 Bitcoin today, that's a value of $555,000. So
you talking about kicking yourself, nigga.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you can at one point, you can, in the beginning it was easier, but you can mine them and you can just create the blockchain to link into it, because that's basically what it is. And
I don't know what you're talking about, but that is
literally
why
have no idea
recruited
what
you.
y'all are talking about.
See, this is why they recruited this man.
I definitely think Willie's in the CIA already. Like, that was his story, was his way of telling us, like, hey, yo, homies, I'm in the CIA. I know Obama. Barack is the homie.
Hey, man.
Damn, Willie, okay.
It's a crazy world. But that's
If
y'all want to look into it, I would recommend it personally.
Hey, I feel that, man. What I want to put into Go Boss is go watch Judas and the Black Messiah, man.
Well, we already spoiled it for them.
We ain't spoiled it too much.
And they haven't seen
if they know the story, they know what happened. But
true.
So go watch that, man. It's a dope movie. We want to support that. We want to support that. Some more films like that could be made.
Yes, watch that movie while you're buying your Bitcoins and you're writing your budget for the week.
Exactly.
At the same damn time.
We're cultivating a listener base of superhumans, right?
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Straight up. But people, beautiful people, I know that y'all full because I'm good and full. Kind of, I might go make me some food actually. But guess what? We want to appreciate you for listening to your favorite podcast, powered by Phat Vegan, The Kitchen Table, y'all. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on our social media platforms, and follow us on the social media platforms, y'all, because we like to talk our shit too. But guess what? An amazing episode, y'all. Thank y'all again. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Yes,
I love y'all too.
Yes, and I appreciate the listeners
so much
too.
love.
Yes. And until next time, peace.
Arrivederci.
Bye, y'all.